Hi everyone, this is Rich with Thrive and Survive Rebooted, and this is November 22nd, 2015. And this should be the week that the Dow Jones finally has its pretty good start downward. Let's see if that's the case. We've still got a little bit of movement north that we can go, but I think we might be done. Mostly this is going to be a metals update because metals have finally shown the way. There is no question anymore whether we were waiting on wave A to complete or if we were getting ready to move up in our wave B correct movement back up north. So that'll be cleared up here in a minute for both gold and silver. In any case, just a reminder of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is pretty much representative of all the major markets in the United States. So I'm not even going to show the other ones this time. What we are talking about here is we had a primary wave 3 high is what we believe is the wave count back in 2008 with the Dow Jones Industrial and all the other major indices as well. And then now we are forming a ABC correction downward. A was the 2009 low, B was the high here in May of this year, and now we're starting to work down in wave C, which should exceed the wave A lows, which were predicted back in 2009. So far it looks like we've completed a wave. There's 5 waves down in C. We've completed wave 1, 2 looks complete, or is completing now. As long as we don't exceed this high right here on the Dow Jones, looks like it's about 18.4, 18.3, something like that. As long as that is not exceeded, then we should be, this count should be good. Just a matter, is C complete here or does it have a little bit farther to go? In any case, we do have what looks like a wave 1, 2. Whenever wave 3 does commence, either right now or after a slightly higher high here. The difference would be if this exceeds this high right here, this would be A, B, and then C would be higher than this. This would be a 1, 2, then 3, 4, and 5, which is definitely possible. So we might have one more move before we hit the big one down. But what I wanted to point out here is we are set up either here or shortly later, as long as we don't exceed this high. For the wave 3, which would not even be on this chart. And just to give you a little bit of perspective, this is all part of wave 1 down of 5 waves in wave C. This is going to totally wipe out the US markets compared to what we had in 2009. We should have a lower than that. The Dow Jones, I believe, was 6,000 something. This should exceed that, I would think, rather easily in this corrective mode down here. This is a wave 4, the larger picture on top of this if we were on the weekly chart. So again, here we are. Everything has worked as predicted. So it's a matter of, does the big downturn start this week or does it start after we do this high? So it looks like the high was just under 18,000, which was accomplished. Looks like it went somewhere around the 23rd of October. Something like that. Whatever that high was, as long as that is not exceeded, we should be, I would think, heading down, especially if this low is exceeded here, which is 17,200, then we should be clear to go in our wave 3 down. So this itself, the wave 3, once it starts, will have a 1, 2, and then the 3 should take us off the screen, 4, and then 5 even lower off the screen. That would be the 3. Then we'd have a 4 correction back up, and then a 5 final low. We're talking now probably a year or two down the road by the time that is finished. So let's take a look at metals, and then we're going to take a look at something very interesting as well that's developing with the US dollar. We haven't looked at this in a long time. This is the monthly chart of gold, and you can see here we have wave 1 top. This was a 12-year rally all the way back, which started in 2001 or 2, I believe. In any case, it ended, as we know, in 2011 when we had the $1,900 high roughly in gold, and since then we're looking for an ABC correction, and we think we're right here now at the end of A. So in any case, forget about these right here. These were just guesses way back in 2011. Looks like we're a whole year waiting off on this. That's how long this A wave has wound down, which I kind of like because C should be a little bit more fast, I would think. In any case, I think we're right here now at wave A bottom. We're looking then for a wave B correction to come back up. That's where I mentioned before, if gold gets to the 1700 area, roughly, that's where I personally will get out. Again, nothing is going to be or should be taken as investment advice in this video at all. These are just my personal opinions. If you want to do anything with the markets, you are highly encouraged to seek your own professional investment advisor. Do not take my advice on any kind of market strategy or any kind of investment whatsoever. Any case, we were looking for 5 waves down, and when we come down to the daily chart, I think we'll be able to show that we are now, we did know if wave 5 was complete a few weeks ago, or if it is finally complete now. That has been answered. In any case, wave B should commence at any time now, because the wave A, all the conditions now absolutely have been met for wave A. So we're looking for an A, B, C up to B, which would be a couple of 2 to 3 year rally probably. Then we'd have the wave C, which is where we are in the Dow Jones right now. So just to give you an idea what we're looking at on the Dow Jones, this is roughly the same thing, A, B, C down. We've had the A and B. With the Dow Jones, we're actually into the C, we believe, right now, just starting. So it should go past the previous low in the Dow. So at some point, probably, I don't know, 2020 to 2022, that's just a rough guess right now. Maybe earlier, maybe later. Maybe a lot earlier if once you see what's happening with the US dollar, if that comes into being. But anyway, I just thought of something. The Fed's having an emergency meeting tomorrow, and the IMF is evidently going to let the Chinese yuan in as a global currency competing against one another. I wonder if that's why maybe the US dollar is showing something very interesting on its chart, which I'll show that next. In any case, I wanted to give you the big overview. I'll show that actually after I show the daily of gold. I don't want to go sandwich in between something else. But then, if anybody's still in there, then I'm very much thinking I'm going to sell out somewhere here, and then repurchase back down here. And if I'm still alive, I'll ride that up here. So that is, we're probably talking another 12 years at least before we get up there. So for you young people, that's something more for you. In any case, I'm not into any kind of 20 or 30 year investment plan, that's for sure. So let's look at this now on a daily chart. Okay, this is gold on a daily chart. What we've been waiting forever is, you see this low right here, which was 1,072, I believe. Every time we came down, we were trying to anticipate, is this wave 5 here? That's one way you could count it. So wave A would be complete. Or, I mean, if that's the case, then we'd be working up at an ABC 2, up for that wave B I showed on the last chart. In any case, every low that came down did not exceed this low. So we were in limbo trying to guess which way it was going. And it looks like now, well, it doesn't look like it has. We've just hit under 1,070. So the low back here was exceeded. There's no doubt now how to count this. This is the bottom of wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and wave A is now complete. It's either complete or completing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is how I see this. However, it could be this is all the way down to 3, 4. We might have one move down further. In any case, we're finally in the very, very last stages of the decline. If this isn't the low, we're very, very close to it. And let me just show you silver real fast. Here's silver on a monthly chart. Haven't shown this in a while either. Here's our Elliott wave pattern. We've only completed one in silver. Now, these people that are predicting all kind of crazy numbers in silver, do you see why? That's one reason why. Those that are Elliott wave analysts definitely can see unbelievable silver prices. We are now working on 2. And unlike gold, silver has not exceeded its low previously. So what does that mean? That means unless it has just done it, let me actually update this on the fly. We may have just changed on this. Okay, this is a better look. This is the daily chart of silver. We have not exceeded the low. So this says, if you saw my last market update with the divergence we had with the NASDAQ versus the other markets, it was an intermarket diversion, which is typical of tops and bottoms. Here we have an intermarket diversion with the metals. Gold has made a new low, but silver has not. This is exactly what we should see with a bottom being put in place. So those of you who have been into the metals, your long wait is finally drawing to an end before it should start reversing. So there's no more guessing. We have had our wave 5 low now in gold. And gold drives silver, so we should be off to the races anytime now. Now let's do one more thing. Alrighty, I'm not going to go into too much detail here. If you don't know Elliott wave very well, you probably won't get this, but something very interesting is happening with the dollar. It has been presumed that this high right here was wave 1, just like gold and silver's wave 1, with the dollar having a much brighter future coming. Either way, the dollar's got a much brighter future coming, probably in the 105 to 120 range. And I know a lot of people don't believe that, but that is what it is looking for normally, except for something just changed with this as well. There is a possibility that this is not just wave 1, and we were thinking was this was A, B, C coming down for wave 2, or actually, I'm sorry, this is a third wave extension. Wave 1 of the third wave is what we thought. Wave 3 usually extends, but not always. It now is looking like this might not be an extension. It looks like it might be a straight up wave 3, whereas this is wave 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and right now it's working on 3 of 3 and then a 4 and 5, versus this was just 1 of 5 more major waves to go up to complete that 3. What's the difference? The difference is the dollar hitting its ultimate high, 105 to 120, probably 110 to 112 is probably the best number to talk about. Instead of it hitting it, I don't know, 3 to 5 years from now, with this change, it doesn't seem like it's too much, but if this is not an extension, it would make this run here its wave 5, in which case the US dollar, it might not even exceed this. I mean, 5s can truncate. Now, it probably will. But if it goes now and exceeds this previous high, which looks like it's about 104, if it exceeds that 104 pretty soon here in the next few weeks, then this is definitely a wave 5, and the dollar will have its ultimate top, and then it's going to start falling apart. Maybe that's because these always tend to show what's coming up in the news. Is that why the Fed is having an emergency meeting? Is this reflecting this change now, reflecting the fact that the Chinese yuan is now going to be introduced as a major currency that is going to compete against the dollar directly? I don't know. I just want to bring this up. If it appears that this does break, either way, I'll give you an update on this in the next week or two. We're going to know. This is something, because if we are now working on a wave high, we've got major problems coming with the US dollar very soon. So that's the end of this update. And thanks, guys. Take care.